Hey guys, so I decided to go with the thick white cardstock, and the first thing that I'm doing is folding it in half and then marking the halfway point and then sketching out the ears on half of the paper and then making a space in the middle of the paper and then doing the same on the other side of the paper. I know that sounds like ridiculously confusing, but if you just watch, it'll make sense. Then next I'm just cutting the ear out, and then I'm folding the ear to make sure that the two sides match up. And if they don't match up right away, don't worry about it because you can just trim them down to size later. Next, on the other half of the paper that's left over, I'm tracing the first ear, only halfway though, because this ear will look like it's folded over. Then when I'm done tracing the ear, I'm taking that away and just sketching out the rest of the ear, the folded over part, and making it look like it's a flopped over little ear. Then again, just tracing out the bottom half of the ear, or what will be the back of the ear. And then when that's done, I'm just cutting out this ear as well. And now that I have the two ears that are all cut out, I am going back with my pencil and erasing all of the pencil marks. And this is what they will look like when they're all folded on the headband. Then I'm going in and sketching the inside of the ear that will be pink. And it's a good idea to look at a picture of the filter while you're doing this, just to get the shapes right. Then when I'm done sketching, I'm taking this pink acrylic paint and putting it on a plate and mixing white into it until I get the correct color that is desired. And I wanted it a lot lighter, so I continued to add white until I was happy with it. Before painting, I'm erasing the pencil marks lightly, just lightly enough to still see the lines, but not so dark that you can see the lines through the paint. And then with a flat square brush, I'm filling in the center of the ears with the pink that I need. And then, of course, following the same steps, I'm painting in the center of the other ear as well. Then, while the ears are drying, I'm moving on to the bow. And you can either have a small piece of thin flexible plastic like this one that I saved from some packaging, or you can use some clear packing tape and fold it over and stick it together if you want. This way is a little easier if you don't have any plastic laying around the house. So as you can see with the filter, the blue bow looks like a doodle, so I wanted it to look that way in real life. So with this plastic, I'm using a dry erase marker and I'm sketching out the bow. And remember, it really doesn't need to be perfect because it's supposed to look like a doodle. So it can look however you want, really. Then after cutting it out, I'm using a wet paper towel and wiping away the marker and drying the plastic. Next, I'm using some teal acrylic paint, some light blue colored paint, some other blue, and some white paint, and I'm mixing them all together to make this light turquoise color. Then with a small paintbrush, I'm starting to paint the shape of the bow on the plastic. And remember, it does not need to look perfect. It can look quite messy actually. I think it really adds to the look when it looks more like a sketch. And now, while the bow is drying, I'm going to my scrap paper and sketching out a carrot, like the doodles that pop up with this filter on Snapchat. And then when I'm done sketching it out, I'm just gonna cut it out. Then, after erasing some of the pencil lines, I'm going in with orange acrylic paint, and I'm just doing a couple of layers of orange on the carrot. I had to do about 4 layers because this kept showing through. And then while that's drying, I'm going back to the ears, and with a black marker, I'm drawing in the black outlines, which makes them look more like a drawing. And that's why it doesn't need to be perfect. Again, I cannot say that enough. I know I'm totally jumping around, but when you're done with that, then go back to the carrot that was drying and do another layer of orange, and then I just painted the stem green. And then when that paint is all dry, I'm going in with a detail brush and some black paint, and I'm outlining the whole thing. And then adding some little black lines all the way down to make it look more cartoonish. Next, I'm taking a small plastic headband and some packing tape, and I'm folding the ears over the headband and taping them in place. And how I tape them is I added some rolled pieces of tape to the inside and then folded the 2 pieces of ears together. And then if you have to, I also had to tape a little bit of the bottom to the actual headband itself. And then of course repeat all those steps on the other ear. And then your ears are done. And 2 things that I forgot to film was attaching the bow, which I did with just some clear tape, and I attached the carrot to a stick so that I could easily hold up the prop. And if you're interested, don't forget to watch my makeup tutorial for this costume. The link will be in the description below. Thanks for watching!